Another day, another win for the Rippaverse. That's right. Yaira returns with an epic sequel, and I am pretty stoked about it. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. This is what I always say about the Rippaverse. Isom got me interested. Alpha Core brought me back for more. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but Yaira made me ride or die with the Rippaverse. It is by far my favorite of the series, and when I heard that Jin Soska and her twin sister Sylvia Soska were returning to write a sequel to it, I was thrilled. So as with all of these Rippaverse reviews, I am going to read the review from my website, and then I'm going to expound on it a little bit at the end. Yaira returns for a second issue within the Rippaverse. Jin and Sylvia Soska return to pin the tale, and Deborah Corita returns to illustrate it. Yaira is haunted by nightmares every night that show her family from centuries ago dying in a variety of ways. Choosing to abandon her heroic identity, she focuses on her civilian disguise as Dr. Sally Rodell and reveals the lost city of Atlantis to the world. She discovers the lost city of Atlantis in issue 1. Things get complicated when our old friend Yeshua from her world arrives and they decide to search for Neptune together. So in the Rippaverse, we find out that a lot of Greek deities and Norse deities exist within the Rippaverse. That's kind of the lore they are building. Continue on with the review. Carita is a talented illustrator and she designs Yaira and her co-stars very well. I applaud her approach in crafting this part of the Rippaverse. I also loved cover A. I'll show cover A. I also loved cover A designed by Kanan White. It truly sets up the story. I was not sure if the first issue of Yaira could be topped, but this is one of the rare instances where I am happy to be proven wrong. The Soska sisters are on top of their game, blending fantasy with science fiction and plunging the reader into another exciting adventure. This time, you get to see Yaira struggle with her past and have literal nightmares. We see an expansion of her lore that moves with the story smoothly. Yaira does not just take to the air, but she dives into the sea, and I was pulled along for the ride. The Rippaverse is expanding wider and wider, and I am here for it, especially if Yaira is one of those pillars. And I meant every word of this. Jin and Sylvia are incredible writers. Karita is an incredible artist. And I just had such a good time reading Yaira number 2. I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you are a fan of, say, Wonder Woman or Miss Marvel or Superwoman or one of those really powerful female-centric superheroes. They are top-notch writers, and this Yaira sequel definitely proves it. And it's the same for Mrs. Carita. She did an incredible job with the artwork. It is just stunning how she does the character illustrations in particular, but also the background illustrations, how she draws action. I am so impressed with this. Every step of the way, I had a blast. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I did want to show y'all this incredible scene where Yaira and Yeshua fight a giant octopus and other varieties of sea monsters. That is just some incredible work. And Deborah Carita, she is so impressive. And like I said, I don't want to give too much away because a lot does happen that's connected to Alpha Core as well as Yaira 1, but this is a top-notch sequel. Yaira number 2 could not have gone better for me as a fan. I will say the emotional turmoil that we see from Yaira as she struggles with nightmares from her past. I was like, Jen, Sylvia, what are you doing to my girl? Because it was just so emotional as she has these very frightening nightmares, and they're illustrated very well, which is another reason you are pulled so much into it. Now, I would just like to say all of the covers for Yaira 2 were incredible, but I went with the Kanan White version because I like this sort of retro pose. This is perfect for a female superhero, particularly one that's kind of fantasy based in her powers. You see her under the sea, standing with her trident and her sword and her epic outfit, and it works so well with her. I just am so excited, and I can't wait to see Yaira in another issue, like another crossover with Alpha Core or another crossover with Isom. Although I have a feeling Isom is going to mainly be solo because the ill-advised arc is coming to an end. Now, I want to dive into some fan theory here because it's fun. The Rippaverse has been around long enough and they produced enough fiction and lore where we can start doing that. I am going to go out on a limb and say that maybe Neptune is also from Yaira's planet. So we know from issue 1 that she's an alien. That's what issue 1 is primarily about. Bounty hunters from her world track her down. And now in this issue, a friend of hers tracks her down. And she remembers Neptune from her past, from when she was around in the Viking Age. That's when she had a family, she had a husband and kids, and they seemingly vanished one day. And that is something she constantly struggles, is how she is immortal, but they were mortal. She is seeking Neptune because he provided her with her outfit and basically gave her more abilities. And I'm curious to see if maybe Neptune isn't actually like some great member of the pantheon from Earth, if maybe he is actually from her planet. Like maybe that's going to be some sort of connection. But I'm curious to know what you think in the comments. Do you think that, no, I'm incorrect, Neptune is just a really powerful human or some sort of icon, some sort of titan of the past? Or do you think that he is also an alien, that maybe a lot of these powerful beings that are in the Rippaverse, that are definitely the inspiration behind the Excepts or the Exceptionals, that they might have gotten their powers from another world? Now, we do know magic exists in this universe thanks to Bloodruth, so maybe that is a connection. Maybe there's some magical influence here, but Yaira seems to be primarily based in science fiction. Now, the Soska sisters definitely blend fantasy and sci-fi, like I said earlier, but I am genuinely curious if this is somehow like connected to more science fiction based abilities and powers and whatnot. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I am very excited for what is to come. So if you want my overall take for Yaira #2, it is amazing. It is a fantastic build on Yaira #1. I don't have any complaints about it. I think cover A is fantastic. If you like the other covers, please get them, support the Rippaverse. Also, check out Yaira #2. It is epic. It is phenomenal. It is well written. It is well drawn, and you will not be disappointed. I'm excited to get more of my pre-orders. I'm excited to pre-order The Great War of Separation, Part 2. I really enjoyed Part 1, so I can't wait to see what's cooking in Part 2. Maybe Yaira will have a cameo. We certainly saw Isom as a child in The Great War of Separation Part 1, and we definitely saw Solari from Alpha Core in Part 1, so maybe, just maybe, our girl Yaira will make an appearance. I don't know that for sure. I have no inside information. I am just saying this as a hopeful fan, but I hope you pick it up, and I hope that you enjoy Yaira #2. And if you have a favorite Rippaverse comic or graphic novel, let me know in the comments section below. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Rippaverse. And some haters and trolls every once in a while will come into the comment section. Don't listen to them. They're entitled to their opinion. Don't go after them. Just know that we're over here having fun reading comics while they're being grumpy, I guess. But I'm having a good time, and I really enjoy Yaira. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member to support the work that I do here. You can also support me by going to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. It is where I post all about what I'm writing, what I'm up to as an author. I also publish my short stories and poems there, so definitely head on over. Now, this is normally where I plug my website, but I am going to be designing a new website. It's coming soon. I'm moving from one outlet to another, but it will all be my content. I'm going to continue to do what I do best. I'm going to review comic books, film, anime, and so much more, and that is coming soon. I'll have a more dedicated video about that in the coming days. If you're feeling extra generous, maybe check out one or all four of my books. I've got the supernatural thriller Cacophony. I have the Sword and Sorcery series, The Seven Royals. Book 1 is All Good Things. Book 2 is Breaking the Stars. If you're more into fantasy romance, I've got Blessed Child. You're definitely going to pick this one up. It's my latest release. I really hope you will grab this one or all four. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.